If you find yourself feeling worn out, struggling to get or maintain an erection, or just losing that spark of desire with your partner, listen to me carefully. This isn't just normal aging. It's your body sending out a quiet, desperate call for help. I'm Dr. Cole, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience. I've sat across from thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. They walked into my office with the same defeated look, convinced that it was all over. They thought their only options were endless medications, hormone injections, or worse, just living with the shame and isolation. But here's the truth no one ever told you. Just 4 everyday fruits, yes, the kind you might already have in your kitchen, can help revive your energy, restore natural erections, and rekindle the desire you thought was gone forever. This isn't some gimmick or empty promise. It's knowledge built on research and years of clinical experience that has helped countless men reclaim their confidence and their true masculinity. No side effects, no prescription, no awkward conversations at the doctor's office. In this video, I'm not just going to name these 4 fruits. I'll explain exactly how to use them, when to eat them for the best results, and how to turn them into a natural prescription most doctors never bother to share. And especially, make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm going to give you a formula to double their impact. It's something most men have never heard of, but will wish they had known years ago. Before we dive in, leave me a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. Alright, let's get to the heart of it. These are the 4 powerful fruits that can help restore blood flow and renew intimacy after 60. They're not magic pills, they're nature's quiet warriors, foods that work with your body instead of against it. And the first one on our list might already be sitting in your fridge. 1. Strawberries, nature's blood flow activator. When I tell my patients, men in their 60s and older, that strawberries can actually change the way blood flows in their bodies, many laugh and say, "Doc, are you kidding? I thought that was just dessert for kids." But they stop smiling and really listen when I start talking about anthocyanins. Strawberries are packed with anthocyanins, plant compounds known for their powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. But don't let the sciencey words throw you. Think of it like this. When you were young, your blood vessels were smooth, flexible, like new plumbing. Over time, though, cholesterol, inflammation, and damage make them stiff and narrow, like old pipes clogged with gunk. Anthocyanins in strawberries help clean and restore those blood vessel walls. They reduce inflammation in the endothelium, the delicate inner lining, so it stays more elastic. That's critical because the blood vessels in the penis are especially sensitive to any narrowing or stiffness. If they lose flexibility, blood can't rush in and stay there to create a firm erection. But there's more. Anthocyanins help your body produce more nitric oxide naturally. Nitric oxide is a signaling molecule. Think of it as the key that unlocks an erection. When you're aroused, nerves in the penis release nitric oxide, relaxing the smooth muscle and vessel walls so blood surges into the erectile chambers. Without enough nitric oxide, or if the vessels are too stiff, this mechanism fails. You get weak or short-lived erections. Strawberries aren't some synthetic ED pill. They don't give you a quick, forced reaction. Instead, they help your body restore its own capability. By lowering inflammation, boosting natural nitric oxide production, and keeping your vessels supple, strawberries lay the foundation for firmer, healthier, more reliable erections, even at 60, 70, or beyond. Anthocyanins. Strawberries are rich in vitamin C, a key player in building collagen, which keeps blood vessels strong yet flexible. Vitamin C also helps recycle nitric oxide, making it last longer in the blood and improving its vasodilating effects. And this isn't just for men. For women, the anthocyanins in strawberries help dilate blood vessels in the pelvic region, boosting blood flow to the vulva and vagina. That can increase sensitivity and natural arousal. Vitamin C also helps maintain collagen in vaginal tissues, keeping them soft, elastic, and less prone to dryness, making intimacy more comfortable, confident, and pleasurable even in later years. And you know what the best part is? These benefits aren't limited to the bedroom. Improved blood flow means warmer hands and feet, a clearer mind, and a more efficient heart. But let's be honest, most men don't come to me because they want to take faster walks. They come because they want to feel like men again with their partners. Strawberries aren't some magic pill that promises an erection in 30 minutes. They're a promise of real, lasting strength, natural, sustainable, and without side effects, even if you're 70 or older. I've seen patients who were embarrassed to admit they couldn't do anything with their wife come back a few months later, smiling and giving me a quiet nod when I asked about strawberries in their daily diet. One small change, one big result. And if you think strawberries are impressive, just wait until you hear about the next fruit. This one doesn't just protect your blood vessels, it actively shields your prostate, bladder, and kidneys while boosting desire from the inside out. 2. Pomegranate, the silent guardian of your urinary system and prostate. Over 2,000 years ago, Persian emperors called the pomegranate the fruit of immortality, not just because of its blood-red color, but because they believed pomegranate juice could keep their vitality, urinary health, and fertility strong for life. And amazingly, modern science is proving those ancient beliefs weren't superstition. When I explain to older patients that pomegranate isn't just a sweet juice, but a natural remedy for the prostate and urinary tract, they're often surprised. Many men over 60 come into my office looking worn out, saying, "Doc, I'm up 4 to 5 times a night just to pee." They don't realize this is a sign of an irritated bladder, an enlarging prostate pressing on the urethra, and chronic low-level inflammation. Pomegranate is one of the rare foods clinically studied for its direct effects on the prostate. A study published in Clinical Cancer Research, 2006, showed that daily pomegranate juice helps slow the progression of PSA, an important marker for prostate overgrowth. But it doesn't stop at cancer. Pomegranates contain polyphenols and punicolagens with powerful anti-inflammatory properties. They soothe irritated prostate tissue and reduce pressure on the urethra. When chronic inflammation goes down, your nights get quieter. No more waking in a panic because your bladder feels full, but your stream is weak or stops and starts. It's not magic. It's biology. At the cellular level, pomegranate polyphenols reduce oxidative stress, one of the silent culprits behind kidney damage and urinary problems as we age. Your kidneys are blood filters, but when their tiny vessels become inflamed, stiff, or clogged due to chronic oxidation, filtration slows and toxins build up. Pomegranate juice is richer in antioxidants than even green tea or red wine. It helps micro-detox your system, keeping glomeruli, tubules, and tiny vessels soft and clear. And it's not just men who benefit. In women, especially postmenopausal, declining estrogen can lead to mild chronic inflammation of the bladder and urethra, causing urgency, burning, and recurrent UTIs. Pomegranate's anti-inflammatory and antioxidant power soothes the bladder lining, reduces infections, and restores confidence. There's another overlooked benefit: improved pelvic circulation. The blood vessels in the prostate, bladder, and kidneys all benefit from the natural vasodilating effects of pomegranate's polyphenolic compounds. The result? Oxygen-rich blood nourishes tissues, reduces inflammation, and speeds healing. I once told an older patient this ancient Persian story. He chuckled and said, "Doc, I don't need immortality, I just want to sleep through the night." I told him, "Then add pomegranate to your breakfast." A few months later, he came back with brighter eyes. "Doc, I'm getting up less, and my wife's happier because I'm less cranky." Pomegranate isn't some miracle pill, but it is a silent guardian for your prostate, bladder, and kidneys, organs that often get ignored until they're crying out for help. And if you think pomegranate is the only ancient secret, wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's small but packed with precious compounds that can unlock blood flow and revive erectile function right from the roots. 3. Red grapes, the sensory nerve restorer for your intimate life. I remember one patient very clearly. His name was Daniel, 67 years old. One morning he came into my office, sat down, and spoke softly, almost ashamed. "Doc, I love my wife so much, but I can't do anything for her anymore." I looked in his eyes and saw a man with deep self-respect, heartbroken over losing the most intimate connection with his partner. Daniel wasn't lazy. He walked daily. He cut back on salt and sugar, but he didn't realize what was silently destroying his ability to get and maintain an erection: the sensory nerves in his penis. As we age, those nerves can become thickened, chronically inflamed, and less elastic. A lot of people think grapes are just a sweet snack, a bit of vitamins and sugar, but they don't realize red grapes, especially the skin and seeds, are packed with polyphenols, flavonoids, and resveratrol that protect nerves and blood vessels from premature aging. Aging doesn't just harden your arteries, it also causes low-level chronic inflammation in the sensory nerves around the genitals. This dulls reflexes, reduces pleasure, and creates that numb, cold sexual feeling so many men are too embarrassed to talk about. The polyphenols in red grapes have neuroprotective, anti-inflammatory effects. They help nerves fight oxidative stress and stay responsive. Think of the nerves in your intimate area as a network of electrical wires. When they get old and corroded, the signals weaken. Grapes act like maintenance, restoring clearer, stronger signal transmission. But there's more. Grapes are also rich in proanthocyanidins, which help block the formation of advanced glycation end products. This sticky glue forms when blood sugar is high, making blood vessels stiff and thick, a big issue for older adults, especially those with prediabetes or diabetes. By reducing glycation, grapes help keep blood vessels supple and elastic longer. That's crucial because the genitals, both male and female, depend on tiny, delicate blood vessels. If those vessels stiffen and lose flexibility, not only does blood flow decrease, but they also fail to nourish the sensory nerves properly. Grapes help halt that process, keeping the blood supply healthy and preserving natural arousal and pleasure, even as you age. Daniel and his wife started adding red grapes, seeds and all when possible, to their daily meals. A year later, they came back to see me. Their eyes were brighter. Daniel smiled and said, "Doc, I don't feel numb anymore. We're close again, really feeling each other." And for women? Grapes don't just help the heart. After menopause, declining estrogen often means dryness, less elasticity, and reduced sensitivity. The polyphenols in grapes support microcirculation in the pelvis, but more importantly, they protect nerves and soft tissues from early aging. The result? Sensation is restored, not in a forced, artificial way, but naturally, gradually, safely. Beyond the bedroom, these benefits spread throughout the body, lowering chronic inflammation, helping manage blood sugar more gently, and slowing vascular aging. It's not just about living longer, but living deeper, with your full range of feeling intact. And if you think grapes are the best nature has to offer, just wait until you hear about the final fruit. It's rich, smooth, and indulgent, but acts as a silent warrior protecting your hormones and blood vessels every single day. 4. Avocado, the golden raw material for hormones and intimacy. When you're over 60, there's something few people say out loud. Both men and women often face a shortage of the raw building blocks needed to make sex hormones. Your body simply doesn't convert food into testosterone or estrogen as easily as it used to. And without enough of those hormones, desire fades, dryness and discomfort set in, fatigue grows, and a quiet distance can creep in between partners. Avocado is an incredible source of monounsaturated fat, especially oleic acid. This is the smart kind of fat your gonads and adrenal glands need to produce sex hormones. Without enough healthy fat, your body can't make testosterone in men or estrogen in women. That's why people on ultra-low-fat diets often complain about lost libido, dryness, and a general lack of spark. But that's not all. Avocados are rich in vitamin E, a quiet but powerful ally. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant essential for protecting the cell membranes of endocrine and reproductive tissues from damage. For men, it helps maintain steady testosterone levels and improves sperm quality. For women, it keeps vaginal tissues moisturized and elastic, fighting the dryness and sensitivity loss that often follow menopause. One of the most overlooked factors? Cortisol, the stress hormone. As we age, chronic low-level stress, worry, and fatigue often become part of life. High cortisol levels sabotage libido by pushing sex hormones to their lowest levels and closing the door on intimacy. Avocados are loaded with potassium, magnesium, and healthy fats, all of which help reduce cortisol. In fact, eating just half an avocado a day has been shown to lower cortisol by about 15%, making older adults feel more open, trusting, and ready for moments of closeness. I once met a couple in their mid-60s who asked me, "Doc, is there a natural way? We don't want pills." I suggested they share half an avocado at breakfast, eat slowly, and use it as a time to talk and connect. A few months later, they came back holding hands, smiling shyly but brightly. The wife said, "Doc, I'm not dry anymore. I feel alive again." Her husband added, "I have more energy, and I want to be close to her." No erectile pills, no synthetic hormones, just smart, healthy, gentle, consistent nutrition. Avocado doesn't promise change overnight, but it gives your body the raw materials to heal itself, rebalance hormones naturally, and rekindle the desire and closeness you thought were gone. It doesn't fight against your body, it partners with it. And you know, when I first started practicing, I honestly thought my job was just to hand patients a list of eat this, drink that, and be done. But over the years, when they'd come back looking embarrassed or disappointed, I realized something. They'd buy the fruit, put it in the fridge, and forget about it. Or they'd eat it at the wrong time, stuffed alongside greasy meats, and then ask me, "Doc, why don't I feel any different?" I'd look them in the eye and smile and tell them the truth. It's not just about what you eat, it's about how you eat it, and most of all, about choosing to start. Your body isn't a machine that just absorbs nutrients on demand. It's like a door that needs a key. At night, when your stomach is full of meat, alcohol, or sugary desserts, that door slams shut. Even the best nutrients can't get through. But in the morning, after a quiet night's rest, with an empty, calm stomach, your liver, kidneys, and blood vessels not yet busy, that door is wide open. That's the golden window, the moment when good nutrients can be absorbed most deeply. It's when your blood can carry anti-inflammatory, antioxidant power everywhere. Your blood vessels, kidneys, prostate, ovaries, and pelvic floor. And don't force yourself to eat everything. Don't turn this into some test you have to pass or a burden you have to carry. Health doesn't demand you be perfect overnight. Like from those, it just needs you to begin. Maybe it's a handful of red grapes to send resveratrol into your blood vessels, keeping them supple, warding off stiffness and chill. Maybe a few fresh strawberries. Their bright red color, a reminder that your blood still needs to flow, that you still need that warm spark for intimate nights. Or half an avocado, the healthy fat your body craves to make its own hormones. A raw material that tells your testosterone and estrogen, "I still need you." Or half a small glass of unsweetened pomegranate juice, a message down to your kidneys, bladder, prostate, "Calm down, don't inflame, don't make me wake up scared at night needing the bathroom." Eat it on an empty stomach. Eat slowly, no rush, no guilt. That's enough. Don't smother it with sugary white bread or drown it in greasy meats. Let it work. This isn't magic overnight. It's a small daily promise, a ritual to remind yourself, I'm not done, I'm not finished. I still want to love. I still want to be loved. I still want to be close. Many of my patients have come back after a few months. They don't say they've turned into 20-year-olds, but they tell me they're sleeping better. They're less irritable. They feel worthy when they look at their wives. If you're still listening to me now, I know one thing about you. You're not someone who gives up easily. I know there's still a fire in you, even if it's flickering, almost snuffed out by sleepless nights, cold feet, those quiet moments looking at your partner and thinking, I've got nothing left to give. Trust me, I've sat with hundreds, thousands of men your age, men who thought they were at the end of the road, men who whispered to me in shame, "Doc, I think that part of life is over." I don't blame them, because we're all told that getting old means getting weak, that it means stop dreaming, stop wanting, just survive the days. But I don't believe that. And if you're still here with me, I know you don't quite believe it either, because 60, 70, 80, even older isn't the end. It's a new chapter you still get to write. Maybe you can't run like before, but you can hold someone's hand tighter. Maybe you're not young, but you can love deeper. Your body has served you for decades, working hard, taking the stress, staying up late to care for family, and fighting off illnesses. It's tired, but it hasn't quit on you. It just needs to be listened to, fed. It needs you to say, I still need you. And the best part? You don't need an expensive miracle. No hormone implants, no magic prescriptions. Just a return to the simplest gifts nature offers. One piece of fruit in the morning. One small promise to yourself. You deserve that. You deserve to sleep through the night without fear of getting up to pee. You deserve an afternoon laughing with your partner. You deserve to feel your blood warm in your veins, your emotions alive in your heart. And I want you to understand the most important thing. It's never too late. Tomorrow, you don't have to change your whole life. You just have to change one moment. One breakfast, one favorite fruit, one sip of pomegranate juice, half an avocado, a handful of red grapes, a sweet strawberry. Let it be a reminder that you still want to live, still want to love, still want to be close. And when you nourish your body with care, it will answer you, gently, steadily, honestly. If you've stayed with me this long, I just ask, try it tomorrow, just once, and then again, because you deserve it, and because the person next to you deserves to see you living, close, loving, even at 60, 70, 90. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning, and I believe you'll choose to start. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because I'll be sharing even more tips and stories to help you stay healthy, connected, and truly alive at 60, 70, and beyond. Let's keep walking this journey together. You are not alone.